Hello and welcome to the Hindus talk show on what is happening in Wayanad. A massive landslide struck the Mepadi Panchayat of Wayanad in Kerala on July 30, yesterday. Going by the latest reports, some 160 people have been killed in that landslide, close to 200 injured, and many more are still missing. Rescue operations are in full swing, and it easily goes down as one of the in history as one of the worst landslides that the state has witnessed. Scores were killed in a similar landslide in Putumala, hardly a kilometer away from the present landslide site back in 2019. Putumala is also in Wayanad. The torrential downpour witnessed by the state on July 30, yesterday, also caused landslides in other areas such as Vilangad in Kozhikode district. Ever since the Great Flood of 2019, Kerala has been witnessing extreme weather events. And from 2019, landslides have occurred in Kasargod, Kannur, Wayanad, Thrissur, and Idukki districts almost every year. While some point to the need to return to the recommendations of the Gadgil Committee report on the ecologically fragile nature of the Western Ghats in the wake of these landslides, there is also an argument that it is driven purely by climate change. We at the Hindu are today looking at the scene in Wayanad while trying to seek answers to some of these questions from climate scientists and landslide experts. First of all, let's talk to Abdul Latheef Naha, our correspondent who is currently in Wayanad, covering the unfolding disaster in that region. And he'll also talk to us about the rescue operations in progress. Naha,
Hi.
yeah, is it still raining in that area? How is the? Can you give us a sense of what's happening there right now?
In the morning today, actually this morning we had a little bit of sunshine. Then we all thought that it's going to be rescue is going to be very easy. But towards midday, it started raining, drizzling slowly, and it rained a bit heavily around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock around that time. And as soon as it started raining, what we witnessed was all of a sudden the river started swelling slightly,
Well,
and that is an ominous sign. Actually, that's a very bad sign because those who are involved in rescue work, they have to they have to worry. It was a real worry for lives for them. Anytime anything can happen. So fragile, so sensitive is the situation there because a large chunk of a hill has come down so far uh, on the night of
the face of the
on
hill has been sort of scooped out, right?
yeah, that's
Or
true.
is it that the earth has flattened in that area,
Earth
as we
has
see in some of
it's
those
the
videos that
topography has
photographed?
completely changed. The topography of that area has completely changed because some people cannot even locate where the house stood. So bad is the situation because only some people who have their neighbors houses, they can locate, oh, this was the place where my house stood or my friend's house stood or my family's, I mean my relatives house stood. That's what they were saying. Some places, I mean some others, they could not even locate where their houses stood. Such was the change, drastic change that has brought about by this disaster. uh, and then you want me to talk, or would you be asking me questions?
No, have you been able to arrive at the exact number of people who have gone missing?
Not yet, still, because people are a lot of confusion still exists, still persists because a lot of people I talked to today, they were saying that most of their relatives who have gone missing have not been identified, have not been their bodies have not been recovered. That's what they see. So they were all in confusion. Utter confusion still remains, and the number of deaths also. What I heard latest is that it has crossed 200. I don't know whether
200.
it's come officially, and officially it is unofficially they say it is 200 because the number of bodies that has reached bodies that have reached Munderi Chaliar uh, um, down. I mean down the hills in Malappuram district is increasing. Today, it has
Okay.
crossed 70 as far as many as 70 bodies have been recovered from Chaliyar itself in Malappuram district. That's far away. And most of the bodies were mutilated, badly mutilated. I mean, you have severed limbs, torsos, even innards. Such was the bad. It's definitely the worst disaster Kerala's ever seen.
How many relief camps are located in that area, and how are people coping with this? The
In fact,
survivors coping. You
yeah,
must have
in
been
the
to some of
nearest.
these relief camps.
Yeah, I visited some areas. There are two, not in the immediate vicinity, a little away from at Mepadi area. They have started two relief camps, and the relief camps they are providing excellent service. Excellent. I mean, there are volunteers from all organizations willing to do any service. When I was there, when some people came and they were asking what are things you want, we are ready to provide you. That's the kind of things apart from the government service, what I mean. And yeah, two are immediately are functioning in the immediate vicinity. um, and there are a few other relief camps also a little away, which I could not visit today.
Okay. So are relief operations in full swing at the moment, and how many agencies are involved?
We can't say it is in full swing because uh, the rain as well as the streams are hampering the relief operations. The
Okay.
military is building the Bailey Bridge. Uh, it is only halfway. It is not yet completed. And so far,
Okay.
they could reach across the bridge. I mean, reach across the river only through a temporary build. I mean, bridge they built, in which all people may not be able to. I mean, except people can just cross that bridge. No vehicle, no machines could be taken across that bridge. And only after this military bridge is completed, they will be able to put across their machines and things. Now the army is focusing on building the bridge, and at the same time they are doing uh, naval services, naval as well as air force choppers were doing SAR operations, search and rescue operations today. They were hovering around because there were still many areas where rescuers could not easily access.
Okay. So
And
people are
today,
still trapped in several areas.
some people are
Could
still
be.
trapped in areas like Attamalai. It was not much affected. It was on the other side of the river, but it was not much affected. They were rescued today. I mean, this morning they were rescued in batches, but they were all traumatized, badly traumatized. Even though they did not have any physical injury, they were all traumatized.
When
Traumatized
you talk to
because
the
they were
people,
they.
yeah, please,
Tell me.
please go ahead.
They were traumatized because some of their relatives had gone in the disaster. They had they died. All these kinds of trauma I could see in them.
Are people putting their fingers on one particular thing which might have caused this landslide? Because I remember back in 2019,
Hmm.
when I visited
Hmm.
Puttumala soon after the landslide, then people were talking about abandoned
Hmm.
quarries existing in the Pachakad quarry in the Atamala Mundakai
Hmm.
region and Churamala.
Hmm.
In fact, in
Hmm.
anticipation of such a heavy downpour, people had been
Hmm.
evacuated, I mean, well in advance. So that prevented
Okay.
disaster of this scale at that point in time. So,
Hmm.
are people talking about such a thing at the moment?
Not exactly.
They must have
People were not
eliminated
actually
all.
people. Yeah, they are in a different mood now. Some of them are actually dazed, I would say. They are numb. They have become numb. Even after they have lost 2 dozen of their relatives, they are still talking. That means they are numb, almost numb. They are not in the, what do you call it? They need counseling. Many of them need counseling, actually. But I don't know what kind of a, normally,
All
if
these
one
needs,
person.
all
Hmm.
these needs are they being addressed? Because I saw a report by one of our correspondents about the
Hmm.
psychology counseling to be provided to some of these people, some of the survivors who would badly need this. So
Yeah, the government is.
I think there is this association of psychologists who were sort of willing to provide them counseling.
Mhm. True, the government is offering, but they have to reach out to these people. They have to find people who need, who actually need counseling. They have to reach out to them, and a person who requires counseling will not go up to uh,
Yeah.
government agencies. I need saying I need counseling. They will not. It is the onus is on the government and the agencies involved.
Were you also able to talk to government functionaries and the people involved in the rescue, search and rescue operations?
Yeah, to a few actually, not many, because mainly the areas where, since we did not want to hamper their work, we did not want to obstruct their work. We little kept a little away from them because they were requesting us. Uh, since the military was involved, military was building the bridge, and actually the rescue was taking place across the river where we couldn't go because it was risky. Going across the
Okay.
river was risky, so
Yep.
we did not dare. I did not dare that. But still, we had other difficulties on the other side. I spoke to some of them. Definitely, they were all involved. They were very much involved, but they couldn't. Even because still every 15-20 minutes one body was being recovered or one limb was being recovered.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that was the
How is
situation.
the state machinery functioning? An officer was made in charge of overseeing the rescue and relief operations.
I would say
So, is it something he did well?
state missionary is in full swing. It is still early to critically evaluate them. We have to wait and see.
But then, I mean, are people getting enough food and their clothing and other requirements are being met?
Yeah, true. It's all fine. That's all fine. That side is there's I don't find there's any lacuna in there. There were almost several ministers were seen there today, including central ministers. They came and a lot of politicians came. They were all doing their best.
There was a report which earlier in the day which suggested some 5,500 people have been rescued and shifted to relief camp. So, is that the accurate number?
I cannot say that's an accurate number, but roughly that can be. When, rescued in the sense, people living in the vicinity were also shifted, so they might have taken those also into consideration.
Okay. Was it a
They were
thickly
not.
populated area? And
It
what sort
was
of
a bit
people
of.
were living there?
It was
The
actually
primary.
it was not a very thickly populated area, but it was a good side of Mepadi Panchayat. And some people I spoke to, I spoke to some excise officers there who had involved in de-addiction activities and all. Uh, so they were saying that it was a very good area and people were very hardworking people. They were making a lot of money and they were having a good life there. But I think, unfortunately, they have forgotten what happened to this Mundakai some a few years ago. Some in 1980s, Mundakai had a similar landslide in which some 14 people died. So that means it is a fragile area, still a fragile area. It is a sensitive area, but I think people have long forgotten that. And
Okay.
one more thing I forgot to tell you, there were it was in the midst of a large tea estate. Actually, a lot of people were making a living based on the basis of their jobs in the tea estate. They were so, and we had a lot of immigrant workers from other states like Bengal, Assam, and Bihar. And there were not many, we don't have any clear account about them because they have no one to ask. At least
Okay.
the local people have somebody to cry for. When these people have no
So
one to
these
cry for,
people have not been accounted for.
they have not been accounted as much as the locals have been accounted. So that's what I can say.
Oh, okay. So monocropping has long been said to be one of the issues which cause landslides. So monocropping is real in that area because you said the entire area is covered with tea plantations, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true,
Yeah. So people are talking about it then
true.
in
That
that
is
area,
true.
right?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be right.
You
And
stay there. I'll contact you. Yeah.
Yeah, and one more thing I just want to add to that Pattumala, where 4 or 5 years ago there was a tragedy like this, not in such
Yeah.
not so mammoth as it
Not of
is,
this scale.
but it was only it is only a few kilometers away from here, 2-3 kilometers
Yeah.
away from Pattumala. It is,
So just a
and people
kilometer
say,
downstream.
yeah, just take a few kilometers downstream, actually, Pattumar. And people say there were quarries had functioned there before, and they had blasts there. All these blasts had made an impact on the land, on the hills, naturally.
Okay.
So that's what the local people say. And the water must have gone in, and when it rained much more than the what you call the red alert number. Uh, so it came all together, and there were actually what do you call that? Two outbreak. I mean, two cases of I would say
Two separate
uh,
incidents of landslide.
two incidents of landslide. One at 1 o'clock or 1:30 around that time at night, late night, and early in the morning. Then another one which was the biggest one, which was a bigger one actually, at around 4 o'clock, 4:30 around that. So it was some people could escape, some others gone.
One school was completely destroyed, uh, uh, which was a three-story
Yeah, that
structure.
was a government vocational higher secondary school. And interestingly, one block of that school, which was a brand new one, it was handed over to the school only four days ago by the district panchayat. I think by the district panchayat people, and it was so sad. Actually, that building, that concrete building, that's a big structure that saved this Churalmala town. Churalmala, what do you call the bazaar? I won't say town, bazaar, Churalmala bazaar. Several shops and houses behind that school were saved because of this structure. Because all the rocks and logs that this disaster, I mean, this landslide brought in, were
Okay,
stopped by
all of
this
it got
school,
blocked by the
blocked by
school
this
structure.
school structure. School structure was destroyed, that's true, but still it was blocked by the structure. Because of
Yeah,
that,
they
several
did not
houses
go further
behind
down.
that, yeah,
Yeah,
had it gone further down, many more houses would have been washed away.
would have been destroyed, and many more
Mm.
people would have been killed.
Would have
Yeah,
been died. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately. So yeah, please stay there. Biju, are you online?
Yes,
Yeah. Hi,
yes,
Biju.
you
Biju
can
is
hear me.
joining us from Kozhikode, and I would request you to give us an idea about the landslide which occurred yesterday at Vilangad in Kozhikode district. So
Actually,
one
in
person,
Vilangan,
yeah, one person went missing, and eventually his body was recovered. It seems.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And one Mr. Matthew, you can
Hmm.
hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Please.
okay. Actually, in fact, around 200 people had a miraculous escape
Okay.
after they heard that sound at around midnight. And this
Hmm.
Matthew was, I think he was sitting in a veranda, so he was
Okay.
unable to escape from the fury.
Hmm. Okay.
And today also, uh,
Yeah.
uh, there was another landslide you can say,
Oh. Oh, in the same
and
area.
in the same area, adjoining the
Okay.
same area,
Hmm.
and almost all of them have been earlier evacuated to safety places.
Okay. Okay.
Now some places have been flooded due to the opening of the Kakayam Dam and all that. And one child fell into one canal at Kannadigal, a child,
Okay.
and
Okay.
he died. Okay, that was
Hmm.
yesterday. And now people have been about, I think, around 5,000 people have been shifted to relief camps. As per reports I am getting, around 4,750, I think, have been
Okay.
shifted to relief camps, and um, I think there are 1,500 families
Okay.
in 121 camps opened at many schools, churches, places like that. Tomorrow, in view of the weather, tomorrow also the collector has declared a holiday throughout the district. And actually, mm, I think in after the 2018 deluge, The Architects Association, I was going through one of the reports of the Architects Association of India's report, Indian Institute of Architects, who had collaborated with the Town and Planning Commission on the disaster calamities that are taking place in Malappuram, Wayanad, and Kozhikode. And they have been giving what do you call the some steps to be taken in case of casualties happening during these landslips. At that time, around I think at around 60,000 people were affected. I knew Kavalampara in Malappuram, Pudumala in Malappuram, Pudumala in as Naha was mentioning in Wayanad, Kavalampara in Malappuram, and bodies are still missing, have not been retrieved. And Pudumala, as Naha was mentioning, is near to this now in Wayanad, and that time around 17 persons died. And I think lots of issues related to ecology is also has to be factored in when we are discussing this. Many have not been able to have occupied or build houses, homestays, and resorts without testing the soil and all that. So that is one of the major we have to factor in that. Whether the concrete structures were actually safe enough in these zones, because after Idiki, Wayanad is one of the most vulnerable places where landslips could occur.
Yeah, we'll bring in climate scientist
Okay.
Yeah, who is director of this atmospheric radar center in CUSAT, Cochin University of Science and Technology. You please hold on, Mr. Abhilash.
Yes.
Yeah. So you said yesterday that it's a sudden burst of rain that caused the landslide in Mepadi. So what were the factors that prompted you to give that comment?
Yeah, actually, we had a detailed study regarding this 2019 Kavalapara Putumala incident. So that prompted us to understand what happened. What is happening with regards to rainfall, the structure of the clouds and all. If you look at most of the landslide, there are two things factoring. It's like the conditioning factor that is mostly related to the soil topography, geology, geomorphology, and other stream density, the slope curvature, the plant curvature, the profile curvature. All these aspects are conditioning factors. So I think our Muraleedharan sir will be talking much about that. But other factor, which is a triggering factor, that is there are 2-3 triggers which trigger landslides. That is mainly the extreme rainfall. That is the main reason triggering landslide along the west coast, not only over Kerala, the entire Western Ghats. The Sahyadri is being the main triggering factor is excessive rain. So, and another one is the anthropogenic activities like road cutting the slope for the roads and other buildings, and unscientific way of cutting the
Human interventions.
Human interventions, like anthropogenic activities. So that is another triggering factor. And one more is there is earthquakes and all, which is not that common over Kerala. But if you look at the landslide which is occurring over the Western Ghats region, starting from northern Kerala all the way to Konkan, covering Konkan all the way to Maharashtra, we can say that 90-95% of this landslide is being triggered by excessive rainfall. That is the one reason we looked at it, and we found that after 2019 landslide, the main reason was that time also the monsoon was not that heavy or active, because when we are discussing about this event, we can say that this event there is excessive rainfall for the last 2 weeks, because the monsoon season, the main rain bearing system during monsoon season is nothing but the offshore trough and the active monsoon trough, which is passing from the headway all the way through central India to Gujarat. So this is the main dynamical system which is bringing copious amount of rain in the central India and the west coast. And during that time, what is happening is that the westerly wind, which is bringing most of the moisture from the larger Indian Ocean and the Arabian Sea towards the Indian land. So the wind is getting intensified during this period of time. And what we observed is that if you look at the landslide which is happening along the Konkan coast, though there are a lot of difference between the topography, terrain features, soil structure, everything is different in the northern part of the Konkan coast and the southern part in the Kerala, but otherwise they all share the same kind of rain belt. But thing is that earlier time till 2018, most of these rain hotspots were seen between 14-degree north latitude north of Mangalapuram all the way up to Gujarat, means Goa coast. Like that stretch is being largely hit by lot of landslide, especially during monsoon season. 2-3 events of landslide is means recurrent landslides are being observed over those regions. But then what we found is that after 2019 Kavalapara Puttumala event, which already we have discussed, during that time there are a lot of deep development of cloud that brought copious amount of rain towards the land. And some of the rain gauge stations in the Nilambur region, they are recorded at that time more than 34 centimeters of rain in one day. And even on the upper catchment area, like the entire Neeragal belt and um, the upper regions of that, they were also recorded more than 50 centimeters of rain. So that prompted us to analyze this even more in detail, that we found that the cloud structure is getting intensified, so that the southeast Arabian Sea, where off the Kerala coast, where the clouds are getting deepening, and the thickness of the cloud is increasing, so that when this is that is becoming in the last 10 years, the last one decade, this decade, we observed that the southeast Arabian Sea off Kerala coast is becoming a hotspot or a breeding ground, where this deep development of cloud is being happening. That is partly because of the sea warming. Southeast Arabian Sea is warming at a higher rate compared to other ocean basin. That warming adds more moisture, the evaporation. That water will get evaporated with a high temperature. That evaporated water is adding to the atmosphere, and due to global warming, atmospheric condition is also becoming so favorable for the so unstable to become these clouds to develop much deeper. So this added evaporation from the ocean surface, and along with the global warming induced warming of the atmosphere, that together is making atmosphere more conducive for holding more and more water. It is saying, the estimate is that every 1 degree rise in atmosphere can hold more than 7% of the water. That much water, excess water, is being condensed and released as rain during a rain event.
So
So this deep,
was it a cloud burst that occurred over this region yesterday?
yeah, that is what this cloud structure is getting more deeper. That is why earlier, if you look at the classical cloud burst, it is the definition is that 10 centimeters of rain in 1 hour. But that normally seen over Himalayan region. If you look at the Himalayan landslides, there are clear evidence of this type of classical cloud burst. But thing is that our Western Ghats, the Sahyadri, is not like, it is much different from the Himalayan region. It is a dormant mountains region, and the soil structure is very different. So that we observe that it is not like even 10 centimeters of rain in 2 hours or 3 hours can produce the equal damage over the Western Ghats region. We don't have to wait for 10 centimeters in 1 hour. Rather, more than 10 centimeters of rain in consecutively for 2-3 hours can produce equal damage to Western Ghats. So that is mainly because of the deepening of the cloud that can produce in short period of time large amount of rain. So that is the main. If you look at the
And
landscape,
caused by increasing sea warming.
Yes, it is induced by the sea warming. So the deepening of the cloud is occurring because of the main triggering is from the sea and the global warming, large scale, and that type of rain which is dumping over a period of short period of time, like 2-3 hours, more than 10 centimeters rain, that has the same damaging potential as that of a cloud burst. That is why it is, and also happening over a very larger area. So that is why it is a mesoscale organization of convective cloud clusters. It is not the single cloud system. It is a cluster of the cloud all together is coming one by one and making these issues over some particular time. That is why we term it as mesoscale mini cloud burst event. So that is what it is observed in 2019. And also one more thing is we want to add is here is that rainfall is the main triggering. There are three type of rain condition which is triggering means which is causing a landslide. If you look at the last 2 weeks of rain along the entire west coast region, we can find that 2 weeks of rain is of the order of like 50 to 70% more rain. So that much rain is enough for making our soil, which was our the soil thickness is also maybe very less, and that soil will become saturated in that antecedent rainfall. And along with that this triggering rainfall induced by mesoscale mini cloud burst can trigger trigger a landslide. That is what had happened in 2019, and also in this Mundake event 2 days back. So
So
the
going,
geology, of course.
yeah,
Yes,
so going
please.
by the scientific data available with you, you don't think that human factors did not, I mean, did play a major role in this particular landslide?
Yeah, obviously, because if you look at the as that is the mesoscale convection over the cloud cluster is happening not over Wayanad district. It is happened over a larger region covering Malappuram, Calicut, Wayanad, and Kannur. I was expecting landslide in Kannur because Kannur rainfall is much more than what we have been getting in Wayanad district, because all this shares almost same kind of cloud system, but the thing happened only over this region. That is what the local topography, local land use pattern, the land use changes, the how the streams are being modified. There are many, because it is very close to a stream or a river, so that how the first order streams are being cutted for plantation or any other type of activities. These all are contributing to that. Is what the cloud cluster is happening over a mesoscale large covering 2-3
But
districts,
these
but
human
even this
factors are accentuating the disaster. They are adding up
that
to the.
determines that is the main thing which determines the location of this disaster. So
Okay.
the cloud is common to 2-3 districts. That is why if you look at why we are discussing only about the Wayanad landslide. At the same time, if you look at Calicut, Malappuram, Kannur, many places have been reported small and large landslides on the same day itself. But this will
Yeah.
become more aggravated because of the local effect, local maybe the anthropogenic effect, cutting off the first order streams and the monocropping pattern, and the native trees have been cut
The land use
long back,
pattern. Yeah.
maybe, yeah, 70 years back for the plantation. These all are contributing to this, and even the abandoned quarries also is being contributed to this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Please hold on for a moment. We'll go to Mr. Muraleedharan, who retired as Deputy Director General of Geological Survey of India, and he's an expert in landslides. So, Mr. Muraleedharan,
Yeah, tell me.
so you're an expert.
I hear you. I hear you.
Hello.
What you are asking?
No, I said you're an
Hello?
expert. Hello. Am I audible now?
I worked in GSA. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
audible to you.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know from you what caused this particular landslide in a region like Wayanad. Is it because I mean, because of the factors mentioned by Mr. Abhilash, or did human factors play a major role in this particular disaster?
See, first of all, I would like to share with you regarding this particular landslide. In fact, I have not visited this area. So unless I visited, I cannot comment on the what is the triggering, what was the what is the type of this one. But what I observed from the medias and the TV and other narrations from the different people, I could understand this is a debris flow. It's purely a what you call a natural phenomena. If you see at the landslide scenario of the India, we have around 13% of the areas prone to landslide. 13%. Among
Okay.
that, only 0.09% is landslide area is covered by the Western Ghats. In Kerala, we have the total area about 38,863 square kilometer, out of which 48% is covered by Western Ghats. From the Western Ghats, we are getting around 10,000 square kilometer of area is prone to landslide.
Okay.
Geomorphologically, if you can see the Kerala geomorphology or physiography, rather physiography, we have three what you call distinctive surfaces. One is the lowland, where the maximum height is about 10 meter. Further, you move from the towards east, you have the midland. That is about the maximum elevation is about 800 meter. Further, if you move towards east, we have the upland, which is having more landslides prone. When you
Okay.
see at the particular the what you call the Madikai, what you call
Mundakai. Mundakai.
these lands
Mundakai.
particular landslide, yes, Mundakayam,
Mundakai. Mundakai.
Mundakai, not Mundakayam,
Yeah.
Mundakai landslide, which is actually it was originated from a place. It's about some 1,980 80 meter from the mean sea level.
Muscle.
So it
Mean sea
was
level.
originated from, it was transferred to the some 6 kilometer down. If you 6 kilometer down, where the Mundakay was
Yeah.
situated, it was damage was happened in the Mundakay area, where the
Yeah.
settlement, other activity was there. If you see the earlier pictures, I've seen it from the Google map. What I found, it is a very what you call active what you call a stream, which was flowing from this particular region to this Chaliar. If you see
Yes.
the gradient, from original place to Chaliarpura, it was so gradient. Within 15 kilometer, it has reached to the from 18 1,998 meter from the Chaliarpura. It was about some 15 to 16 kilometer. So we can see the gradient. It's so gradient. So whatever the material was collected by this landslide, it was transported in such a speed, and it was everything
Because of the
on the
gravitational
when
pull.
it was passing. It was purely gravitational. The fact is that the what the Abhilash sir was telling, the cloud regarding the cloud contents of clouds. See, it is not a uniform area. It is condensation of the land the clouds is not uniform, and clouds also, the position of the clouds also is not uniform to entire region. So it may be pocketing somewhere, downpouring suddenly, and some pockets. So in that case we will get a landslide. Here in this particular region, it was no, there was, what I found it was there is no human settlement there, and the downpour was so heavy. See, within 48 hours, what is the intensity of the rain? It was about 358 millimeter. around 35 centimeter rain was there within 48 hours. It won't hold the water. This water volume of the water will not hold this particular region. So it has to be actually, if it is a landslide, different type of landslide there. This is we call it as a debris flow. Debris flow means it will like a bomb it will burst. But other landslide it won't move this much fast. But the debris flow will move very fast, and it
That is
will
because of the
destroy
gradient of the hill.
everything on the east path.
Okay.
You're, hello?
No, I said
Hello?
that is that because of the gradient of the hill that it moved really fast.
Yeah, it was purely gradient of the hill, and it was actually this flow was taken on the path of the earlier stream. It was earlier stream. If you see the earlier picture, we can see the active channel with the boulders and these things was there. So that region is what you call. We can say it is a there was a active channel and there was a torrential rain. It is within 48 hours.
Yeah.
This much water cannot hold this region, that soil. One more thing I would like to say that these what we call these particular region, where the landslide was originated, it is a plateau boundary. It is a plateau boundary. It is the west. It is sloping, whereas in the eastern side of the region, or northeastern side of the region, the streams are originating from that region and flowing towards east. But here in this region, the particular the region, the stream is originating and flowing towards west. So it is a boundary. It is a boundary. We call it Wayanad is a plateau. You can see Wayanad is a plateau. That it is a boundary. And in the boundary, actually the plateau boundary, this can happen. You can see the Munnar region the same way. Same way.
So the point
it's
is that more and more
plateau boundary.
landslides
It's not a flat boundary.
likely to happen in the region in the years to come.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. But see, regarding the early warning system, the different agencies have started. We are in the embryo stage for the early warning system, as far as the landslide is concerned. Geological Survey of India, of course, they have taken up the project, and they are in the pilot mode. They have installed some early warning system, and with purely based on the rainwater, what you call the threshold value, purely based on. For regional forecasting, we can have only the rainfall threshold method only we can have it. Unless they get the correct data in correct time, they cannot do anything. That is one reason. If you see if you want to say what you call to monitor one particular landslide, one particular region, one particular landslide, we have different methods of early warning. For that, we will have to install so many instruments like a piezometer, then sentiometer. Like that, we have to install so many instruments so that we can predict very perfectly. Whereas in a regional ways, we will have to depends only on the what you call the rain, what you call the rain gauge. So we will have to, our lacuna is, or our problem is that the population of the rainfall measuring instruments are very less. The population is very less. So we'll have to install so many more that is required. That is much required.
So,
the
crux of your
if you see
is
the
rehabilitation. So, sir, I think the crux of your argument
rehabilitation.
is that rehabilitation of people in such landslide-prone areas is the only way we can actually mitigate this disaster.
See, actually, if you ask me a what you call a debris flow, then we can suggest only the rehabilitation. Whereas other landslides, if you can say other landslide in the a cutting slope, then we don't have any think of rehabilitating this landslide. Only you have to strengthen that landslide, or you have to strengthen the slope, so that we cannot move the people or settlement from that place to another place. But particularly this kind of the debris flow, we cannot do anything. Only
Which is what is
you'll have to
happening in
move out.
Munnar as well. Like in
That is the only
Pettimudi,
way.
you had a landslide a couple of years ago. In Munnar as well, it is the same thing. Debris flow.
Yeah. See, the run out of the particular landslide is very difficult to predict. Run out. It was originated from a place and it was damaged some 6 kilometer down. So that much the what you call transport we never expect. Nobody will expect that much. That means this much of rainfall are within 48 hours also.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. We are running out of time. We'll quickly go back to
And,
Mr. Abhilash and one quick question.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Muraleedharan pointed out that there is a need to have more rain gauges across the state. Is that something that can be done immediately?
Installing rain gauge is not a big deal because there are different type of rain gauges available, like they automatically recording rain gauge type that will cost around 1 lakh with all the modems, all the capabilities like batteries and transmitting sims and all that we can accommodate. It is not a big deal, and as far as Wayanad is concerned, there is a group of farmers. They are regularly taking observation of this rainfall. I think Muraleedharan sir might have cited their rain gear station observation. Like they recorded 48 hours rainfall of like 57 centimeters, 573 millimeters around, in 48 hours. One day they recorded 37 centimeters of rain. So this is from not the formal rain gauge observatories from Disaster Management Authority or IMD. It is maintained by a community organization. Like community level rain monitoring system is in place in Wayanad. Even that group even warned one day before about this, because in that 5-day period, accumulation period, if you consider the antecedent rainfall, 5 day they got almost like 957 millimeters of rain in 5 days, 97 centimeters of rain in 5 days. That time itself, this group has been alerting the district administration regarding if another triggering rainfall is coming, it can lead to landslide. So this is a scenario. So installing rain gauge is not a big deal. Every means wherever this vulnerable places are located, that we can get it from the landslide susceptibility map. We can increase the density of the rain gauge network. That is not a big deal.
So I'll quickly go back to Mr. Naha and we'll conclude this. Naha?
Listening.
Naha?
Yes, I'm listening.
So when do you think these rescue operations will get over? So how long will it take for the rescue workers to rescue everyone and provide them relief? And rehabilitation will take a longer time.
Definitely. It is definitely going to take many days. I would say weeks perhaps, because we saw Kavalapara. Kavalapara was, we cannot compare these two. I covered Kavalapara as a reporter because I was there almost, several times I visited that place. It took 19 days of rescue operation for Kavalapara. Still 11 bodies were yet to be recovered. So it was 59 total deaths. Out of 59, it was SANS 11. So that's how we concluded Kavalapara. Okay, but this is quite different. It has, as Muraleedharan sir said, it has the debris has flown kilometers. I mean, 6 kilometers, he said, but I would say bodies have flown further. And the
Maybe
slope in
100
Naha was,
kilometers. Maybe
I
100
won't say
kilometers
100, no,
over.
not 100 kilometers, not 100 and all. But the problem is, all in this flow, there are several waterfalls. Say for example, Sujipara is one of them, which is quite steep. And it's a big waterfall, heavy waterfall, a lot of water goes in. And because of these, bodies are being shattered, bodies have been torn apart like anything, and they are struck at many places. So I mean, along the way of this river, this river is Iruvanyipura, which is a tributary of the Chalia, which reaches Chalia at Portugal, and it flows. And down Chalia, still bodies are being recovered. I mean, today, I mean, they were saying that every 15 minutes they were picking up either a body or a part of a part of the body. So that's what they were saying. So it is.
It
I mean,
will take a long time for people to recover from this.
yeah, it is definitely going to take a long time.
Operations to get over.
Yeah, definitely it is going, and many may be buried under the debris. So many places, I mean, there I could see there was a school and a temple, and about 10 feet high mud has come. And the area is vast, whereas Kavalapara was only a few acres of land where we could dig with 10 or 12 JCBs. This area is so vast. Where do you dig?
And considering that there were people in that area who were not on official records, I mean, the casualty could be much more actually in reality.
Definitely, it is going to be much more, because the number of people missing are still much more than the casualty. Even if I buy this an official account of 200, they say the number of people missing is much more than that. It is definitely going to be. And some people, local people I spoke to, they say minimum 500 people have fallen victim to this landslide. That's what they say, minimum 500. That's unofficially they say locally.
Yeah, so that is the plight of Wayanad at the moment, and that of Kerala, which is a real sad situation, and which is very shocking. But people are contributing with aid, and people are also giving funds for relief operations. So once again, we are back to a situation similar to that of 2018, where the entire state is actually coming together to provide relief, and the entire nation, I would say. So thank you very much for Naha, Biju, Mr. Abhilash, and Mr. Muraleedharan for joining me on this show. Thank you all.
Thank you, Anandan. Thank you.